and try to understand. The Germans adored me. I was treated like a queen among them, whereas among you French, I am nothing but a tart. If you had been in the orgy nights in Berlin, when they were groveling on the ground at my naked feet, I unchained them and searched for their bestial desires. All obeyed me. I still maintain my influence over them. I'm certain. Will you permit me only to try? You are an agent in the service of Germany, but I will overlook it at this moment because you have come to make us this proposition. If I proceed to accept, you will betray either Germany or us. You're a gambler, Mata Hari, and you must play. Rouge et noir, red. It is us. Over the line that you see there, that of the front where the blood flows night and day. Black. It is your German friends. I warn you. Red wins. Black loses. Reflect well before placing your bet. I have thought it over. I will play red. I am a gambler, but I am superstitious also. Margareta Zellmeck, traveling on Dutch passport number 2603, is suspected to be a German agent, and it has been decided to send her to London for further examination. I beg your Excellency, politely and urgently, to do everything possible to help me. A terrible accident has happened to me. I was traveling from Spain to Holland on my own passport, but the police claim that it is false and that I am not Mrs. Zell. I am imprisoned here in the Scotland Yard. I pray you, come and help me. It is a misunderstanding. My interrogation began in Dutch. They questioned me in Dutch through a Belgian, and he had the audacity to say that I had a German accent. The language switched to French. I was accused of altering my passport. I was asked about my parents, my childhood, my marriage, interspersing critical questions with the more routine ones in the hopes of provoking a lie. I offered several names, several prominent men who were my lovers. A chief constable could not help remarking, "It would be awkward to have a levy of all the belligerent countries in your room." Captain Ladu abandoned and betrayed his own agent. He claimed to have hired me as a ruse to trap me. But the police do not have any evidence to claim me. I was sent back to Spain. I was intelligent, an excellent linguist, useful attributes for a spy. But it was my willingness to do things normally judged immoral for money. Men assumed I would stoop to espionage. I was incriminated, recruited, and suspected for my willingness to sleep with men for money rather than anything else. I was accused being a spy because I was Mata Hari, the epitome of beauty, sexuality, seduction. Then by the end of 1916, something very peculiar happened. Messages began coming in at the Eiffel Tower, having to do with Mata Hari, written in an old German code that had already been broken by the English cryptographers in 1914. It was inconceivable carelessness that the Germans would send messages in a code they knew the French could read. Were the Germans using the broken code to feed false information to the French? Or were the French using the broken code to manufacture evidence against Mata Hari? I had never lacked for male admirers. Even though I was nearing 40 years of age, and even though I was in love with Captain Vladimir the Maslov, I needed money, and money meant lovers. An officer leaving behind the horrors of the battlefield in order to spend a few days in Paris with me entered a dream world. The life expectancy of those fighting on the Western Front could be measured in weeks. They sought my company and savored every moment of it, knowing that blood, death, battle, and hardship would be temporarily held at bay. On February 10, 1917, a request for a warrant to arrest me was written by the Minister of War on the letterhead of the War Ministry. It read, 1. Zelme Cleod is an agent in the Cologne Intelligence Service and she is known by the designation H21. 2. She has twice been in France since the onset of hostilities, undoubtedly to receive information for Germany. 3. During her second voyage, she promised the French intelligence that she would share whatever she had learned with the German intelligence. 4. On her attempted return to Holland, she was arrested by the police and sent back to Spain, where she got in touch with the German military attaché at Madrid. 5. She received 5,000 francs from the German military service at the beginning of November in Paris. On February 13, 1917, as I was eating breakfast, I was arrested by the French police. I am innocent. Someone is playing with me. French counter-espionage. Since I am in its service, I have only acted on instruction. Was she pretty? Without a doubt. Feline, supple, artificial, used to gambling anything and everything, without scruple, without pity, devouring fortunes, leaving her ruined lovers to blow their brains out. She was a born spy. The French government needed someone to be guilty. The French troops were starting to mutiny. The war was going badly for France. I was an immoral woman, a wicked woman, perfect for the role. I have no privacy. The food is scanty and appalling. I, who had dined in the finest restaurants of Europe, now have to make do with thin soup and bad coffee for breakfast, bread and boiled vegetable for my second meal, and a thin slice of poor quality meat once a week, and I was forced to pay for these meals. I, who insisted on a private bathroom in every hotel, now had to make do with a small bowl of cold water in the morning for my ablutions. I, who favored silken costumes laden with jewels, now had to make do with a clean coarse chemise once a week. The Amazon who rode horses and danced with such strength and grace now had to make do with 15 minutes of exercise a day if I caused no trouble. I cried from fear in the night. No one could hear me. Take pity on me, I think I'm going mad. I beg you to not leave me locked up in this cell. I was the official mistress of Colonel Van de Capellan of the Dutch army. I was also the mistress of the Belgian commandant, Marquis de Beaufort, and of the Russian captain, the Maslov. I also had fleeting relations with one Montenegrin officer, one Irish, 2 Italian, 3 or 4 British officers, and 5 French officers. I love officers. I have loved them all my life. I would much rather be the mistress of a poor officer than a rich banker. My greatest pleasure is to go to bed with them without thinking about the money. And then I like to make comparisons between the different nationalities. The woman named Zell is of a very nervous temperament. Preoccupied with her status as a defendant, is not currently suffering from anything serious. One of the substances found in her traveling bag contains oxycyanide of mercury, which the defendant claims is a douche to prevent pregnancy. We also found in her traveling bag